Okay, thanks for joining us for the third session in our Teacher Academy. This is Programming Future Ready Skills with Minecraft Education. My name's Stephen Payne. I'm based in Perth, Western Australia, and I'm going to guide you through this session to show you how Minecraft can be used to teach coding and computational thinking. So it's great if you've got Minecraft installed, and there'll be times when you can pause and play along with me. But I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview of what we're doing today. We're going to start by looking at the future ready skills that are required, particularly focusing on computational thinking, coding, and other digital technologies related skills. We'll be looking at Minecraft Education's Code Builder. So this is the simple tool that allows you to use coding within Minecraft to build and mine and do various other things. We're going to focus on the basics today, just using the block coding, but for older students, they may also want to use the Python, which is the text-based programming language. We'll be looking at placing your first block in code. We're actually going to do 5 different activities in code using Code Builder today, just to try and kind of understand some of the different tools you've got, and I'll also show you where you can find lots of worlds that will guide you through that. So first of all, let's have a quick look at coding in the classroom. So this is some statistics from a couple of years ago. 2023, 77% emphasize the need for skills such as coding, but also soft skills such as critical thinking, problem solving. And as we see today, all of those things can be really well developed within Minecraft. We've also got unseen jobs. We don't know what jobs are going to be around in the future. So by developing adaptable skills, that's where the future ready comes in. So not everyone is going to be a coder, but everyone is going to have to solve problems and think creatively and work collaboratively and all those sorts of things. But I think what's great is the collaboration, communication, problem solving, digital literacy. All of this can be accessed via the game-based learning, such as Minecraft. And what's great is students love Minecraft, or if they don't love it, they're certainly familiar with it. And there are plenty of built-in features for cyber skills, computational thinking, decomposition, pattern recognition, algorithmic thinking, all the things that you need to do with the digital technologies curriculum in Australia. So doing this in a familiar way is a great way of introducing these concepts to students. As well as the coding that we're going to look at, there's also a lot of really great tools and resources for cyber safety and digital citizenship. So I'm just going to play a short video that introduces these, and I'll put the links in the follow-up email and on the link below.
Learners need the right skills to be safe, smart, and confident online. And educators need the right resources to empower their students to be cyber safe. Minecraft Education's cybersecurity curriculum helps learners of all ages become proactive cyber heroes, protecting their data, using the internet safely, and modeling digital citizenship. This standards-aligned curriculum incrementally introduces cybersecurity concepts across different grade levels, providing the foundational skills students need as their digital footprint grows. In the Cyber Safe Lesson Collection for students aged 7 through 11, learn the basics of personal safety and digital identity, both online and in real life. The Cyber Fundamentals Collection for ages 10 through 14 covers defense strategies for cyber attacks on home and school networks. In Cyber Expert Lessons, created for ages 13 through 18, explore encryption and clever strategies to counter hackers. Each world features a lesson plan and educator guide. Get your students cyber safe and build the skills they need in our increasingly digital world. Learn more at aka.ms/cyber.
Okay, so we've seen the overview of the cyber resources. I actually made a video about that yesterday, which you can find on YouTube as well. And we're now going to look at how to use um, coding within Minecraft. So you may have used Code Builder before, or quite often students accidentally press the C on the keyboard and the agent suddenly appears. But C, letter C, is how you bring in the code builder, or if you're using a touch device, you press the little agent button at the top of the screen. So just very briefly then, coding is the process of communicating with computers. It's not just about writing code, it's about solving problems, creating solutions, and students are developing those computational thinking and digital technology skills. So we look at algorithms, so the step-by-step instructions, and Minecraft's a really safe and quite easy way to kind of focus on the order of operations and making things that are in the right order, being very clear with your instructions. So it's really like a foreign language, but the language is the way that you communicate with computers. So you may have used Code Builder before. As I said, you just press C on your keyboard and Code Builder launches up. So it's a user-friendly interface, um, only available, it's available within Minecraft, but also MakeCode, which uses the block-based coding, is also available for other platforms as well. You may have come across MakeCode Academy, where students can use MakeCode to create simple games within the web browser. You can do it with younger students with the MakeCode block-based coding, but also there's general programming language, tech-based programming, such as Python, that you can do with older students. And this little character down the bottom, you may have come across the agent. This is your programmable robot that assists you with coding. So you can send your robot off to build a house or plant seeds in a farm, all sorts of different things. So we're going to meet the agent later on and see what the agent can do. So this is kind of what a code builder looks like. It appears on your screen, and you can just drag blocks out, put them in the right order. So on this one, we've said on chat command build. We've chosen a block that we're going to build with, and as the agent moves, it's going to place that block down, and it's going to move forward 10 spaces. So we can see over here, this is our agent. He started kind of off the screen, and he's walked forward 10 spaces and placed the block every time he's taken a step. So it's as simple as that, really. You've got the code, so you kind of do the theory, and then you can test it out. If it doesn't go right, and quite often with me, it doesn't go right first time, I can always go back and edit it, work with others, and actually solve some problems. So what we're going to do now is actually look at placing some blocks of code and getting to use the code builder. So we've got 5 challenges to start with. This is a really fun one that I've used in lots of different scenarios, is printing. So using the code builder to print a message in the sky. So I might just say hello world, or quite often when I've used this with students, they've created something in Minecraft and written in colorful blocks above it what it is that they've built, or their name, something like that. So we're going to look at this one first. I'm going to show you how to code the agent to write a name in the sky. So what I'm going to do is open up Minecraft. I'll go back to the beginning. So I'm in Minecraft Education. I've logged in with my school ID, and I'm actually going to go into the library, starter worlds, and these build plates are kind of really good starting points, and I'm going to use the blocks of grass. There's kind of nothing in the way. I can just concentrate on what I'm building. So you can either browse to that, or you can search for blocks of grass, and that just gives you a nice big field that you can build on. So I'm going to open up blocks of grass, create the world. And here I am. So just a reminder, if you are using a keyboard, press H to remind you of the keys. W, S, A, and D are your general navigation. And you can see in that list that C is Code Builder. So if I press C, it opens up Code Builder. That's the one thing to remember. And there are a lot of tutorials there, and it's probably worth exploring these. I've actually done this with classes of students, and I've just asked them to choose one that they like the look of, and we get to know lots of different parts of coding. But you can also start just by clicking New Project. So I'm going to click New Project, and I'm just going to call this Code Builder 1. Okay, and that has now created a canvas in which I can start building. So you'll notice a couple of blocks there to start with. There's on start, and that just means when you start the program, whatever you've put inside this container is going to happen, or you can program it so that when you type in a command, something happens. That's much better because you're then in control of it. So I'm going to get rid of on start and just leave on chat command. And then I can type in. So if I type in the word hello, when I type in the word hello in the game, whatever I've put in here is going to happen. And everything is color coded. So player affects the player. And of course, in Minecraft, we build with blocks. So I'm going to click on the blocks menu, and you'll see lots of different options. Place a block, test for an item, fill with a block. There's the one I want, print. So I just drag that onto the screen, and I can type my message here. Hello world. Oh, actually, I'm going to type it in capitals today. And then I can choose what I print with. So I think the default one is grass, but I could print with red sand or purple wool. Block of gold. I'm going to go with pink wool today. So I'm going to write hello world, and it's going to be made up of pink blocks. Just zoom in a bit so you can see that. So this, where it says at, those are actually coordinates relative to you. So X is kind of in front of you, Y is up, and Z is depth. So if I just do that, say 10 blocks above me, that just means it's going to do it in the sky. I don't need to worry too much about the direction, but if you were wanting something in a neat space, you could bring up a compass and work out which way you were facing. But I'm just going to create this code. So let me just check it. When I type in the word hello, it's going to print hello world in pink wool at Y coordinate 10, which is 10 blocks above my head. Okay, so I'm going to click play. I'll just hide the commands, and this is my agent. So as soon as I open Code Builder, my agent is teleported directly to me. So I'm going to use my agent later, but for now, I'm just going to press T for talk, and that's where you type in your commands. And if you remember, my command was hello. So if I type in hello, I should find that something is being written in the sky. Let me go back a bit. Fantastic. So that's much quicker than having to build that myself. So what did I do? I opened Code Builder. I programmed this, and as long as you've done it correctly, the coding follows exactly what you are trying to do. So that's my first one. Just one thing to bear in mind, there are some items here that you can't really build with. So for example, if you tried to build with water or lava, they would just fall to the earth. So you're not going to get a nice message. But any of the kind of standard blocks, wood or stone, gold, wool, they will be fine for typing in the sky. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to try that out. And if you've got any questions, just type them in the chat, and hopefully you can write hello or your name in the sky. See if you can print that out. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Okay, so we've created a warm welcome with skywriting. The next thing we're going to do is have a look at teaching our agent to move. So here we're actually going to use our little robot helper within the game. So I'm going to keep the same world open. And I can actually create extra commands in the same window. I don't need to delete anything. So I've got my hello one there, and this is blue. So under player, I'm going to add an on chat command run. I'm going to have another one down here. And this time I'm just going to call it walk, and I'm going to get my agent to walk. So I click on agent and you'll see different options here. Agent move forward by 1, agent turn left, agent teleport, but I want the agent to move. So I've got agent move. You can have the agent move forward, back, left, right, up, down. I'm going to choose forward for now. So agent move forward by 1. If I click play, where's my agent? Right over there. Let's go and watch my agent walk. Here we go. T for talk and type in the word walk. And my agent walked forward 1 step. Fantastic. Let's make him walk a little bit further this time. 10. So now when I type walk, my agent's going to walk forward 10 spaces. Fantastic. Another thing you can do is sometimes your agent can get quite far away from you. So particularly if you're trying out lots of different things. So another really useful command is having your agent teleport to you. And that means they're just going to come and stand exactly where you're standing. So I'm going to add one more command here. On chat command, and I'm just going to put TP for teleport. I'm going to go to agent and agent teleport to player. So now I can teleport the player to me and then have the agent walk as well. So if I now type in TP, you'll see the agent comes straight back to me, and then I can ask the agent to walk away from me. So that's just basic instructions. I could have the agent turning or moving up in the sky. And in a moment, we're going to get the agent to build with us as well. So let's just check that we can get the agent to move and to teleport. So again, I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes to try that out. And if you've got any questions, let me know, or let me know when you're done. Excellent. Well done. So the next one is actually getting the agent to build. So we're going to get the agent to build a fence for us. So if you look at the code here, I'll just put the actual command there. We're going to direct the agent to construct a sturdy fence. This is the third activity that we're going to look at. So we're going to use what we've just done, but we're going to actually get the agent building at the same time. So I'm going to go back to Minecraft. I'm going to open up my code builder, and I'm going to add another one here, and I'm going to call it fence. And what we're going to do now is rather than just get the agent to move, what we're going to do is say agent move forward, let's say 10 again. But this time there's a special button here that says agent set block or item. Don't need to worry about the counts and slots just for now. But if you go down to the inventory, you can actually set it so that the agent is building with a certain block. So let's build with gold today. And all that means is he's got gold that he can build with. What I also have to do is tell the agent to place it when it moves. So you can see here, I've got agent place on move is off. But if I change that to on, what should happen is when the agent moves forward by 10, every time my agent takes a step, they will also place down a gold block. So these ones here, count and in slot, that might be if you're building with two materials. So you might be building a alternating colors, or you might have a mixture of stone and wood. You can add extra blocks in different slots, but we're just going to stick with the basics here to build a fence. Fantastic. So I'm going to type T and fence. And you can see there, as my agent moves along, he's building a fence out of gold. But what's quite neat about this is you can combine this, and you can actually put in the instructions to build a house or to build a farm or whatever it is. And the agent can go off and do that while you're doing something else in the game. So really quite simple to add in commands. So let's have a quick look at building a fence, and then we'll try and combine that to actually build a structure. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to build yourself a fence with whatever you want. You could try this with lava. That would be interesting. But yeah, probably best using wood or stone of some kind. So now we're going to combine what we've just learned and actually start building a structure. Okay, so what we're going to do is use some of what we've just done, and we're actually going to build a pen for our animals. So in our final task, we're going to actually summon some animals to us using code, and hopefully we can keep them in our pen. So I'm going to go back to my code builder. And this time, rather than just building a straight line, I want to actually build a square as the base for my pen. So I'm going to go to on chat command, and I'm going to write square. And what I can do is, rather than go and find these in and scroll down, you can just right click on an item and copy it or duplicate it. So if I duplicate that, I can put that there, duplicate that, duplicate that. And then if I need to change particular numbers or items, I'm actually going to create a wooden one. So we're going to do oak. So let's think, I want to make a square. So I'm going to move forward by 10, but then I then want my agent to turn. So I'm going to say agent turn left. So my agent moves forward by 10, turns left, and then I could repeat this, forward by 10, turn left, repeat it. So I've got the 4 sides, but we can also introduce loops here. So this is repeating an instruction a set number of times. So if I put repeat 4 times and I drag those 2 items into there, that will actually repeat whatever's inside the loop 4 times. So I've set what block I want to use. I've set agent place on move, and then I'm going to repeat that 4 times. So I'm going to try that now. I'm going to go where there's a bit of space, and I'm going to teleport my agent to me. And I used TP for teleport. Fantastic. So TP, there's my agent. And I'm going to now write square. Okay. So he's done 10 blocks in a row and he's turned left. As long as my instructions are clear, my agent's going to follow exactly what I'm doing. And I'll fly up in the sky so I can watch him build. So I've now made a pen. Oh, so close. Because I was asking the agent to build as they move, they're in the way. So they can't build that last block. So I've come across this before. And what I'm going to do is just say, I'm going to duplicate that. And instead of agent move forward, I'm going to change that to agent move up by 1. And then at the final spot, the agent's going to move up and will hopefully build underneath him. So I'm just going to try that once more. And that's just to get the agent out of the way. There are other ways of solving those issues, but that's something that I've done before. Saying that, I do need to test it still. So let's come over here and build another pen. T square. Oh, I didn't teleport him to me, so he's going to get all sorts of blocks in the way. He's shaking his head because he can't build, so he's doing the next best thing. Oh, there we go. That's certainly, he did move up at the end, so that's good. So I'm going to come over here and teleport and now write square and get him going again. And I'll give you the same opportunity as well. So I think now we've seen it does go up at the end. He's going to build his pen. So if you'd like to try that as well, I'll just pause that and put the instructions on the screen for you. And if you've got any questions, just let me know, but give that a go. And these sort of activities are great for discussions with the class about what's the role of the repeat block, or why do we have to turn the agent right or left after he's moved forward, those sorts of things. So we're talking about logic. And if you're super fast at this, a challenge I quite often set with students is to turn it into a tower. That adds its own difficulties and problems to overcome. So rather than just a 10 by 10 square, make it 16 blocks high or whatever you choose. And then you do find some interesting structures being built and a lot of going back to the drawing board. Just going to go back and check that mine actually worked. There we go. Got my agent standing at the top. I've made a 10 by 10 square on the ground there. Oh yes, great point there. If you're in the air and the agent and you teleport the agent to you, it will come and build with you in the air. That can be quite fun as well. Fantastic. So one last task to have a look at, and this is super fun. We are going to look at soaring chickens. So we're going to look at make it rain chickens. Nice easy task here. And basically in Minecraft, you can use coding to create things or what are called mobs in the game. So chickens and wolves and bees, you can actually create those through coding. So I've stood inside my pen and I want to make a number of chickens join me in the pen. So I'm going to go to my Minecraft and I've stood right in the middle of the pen. And I'm going to open the code builder. So this time, as before, I'm going to use the chat command. And when I type in the word rain, it's going to rain chickens. So what I can do is go to the mobs tab here. And you've got spawn animal, lots of other things as well, but we're going to just start with this one. Spawn animal. And then you can choose the animal. So there's lots of different animals that you can choose from. I've got to find the chicken now. That's a sheep. That's a chicken. There we go. It was already a chicken. So I'm going to spawn a chicken. And then I choose the coordinates. So as before, you've got X, Y, Z. So if I change that to 5, it's going to spawn a chicken 5 spots above my head or 5 blocks above my head when I type in the word rain. Let me try that. I'll look up so I can see what's going on. I'll type in the word rain and there's a chicken who's come and joined me in my pen. Fantastic. But that's just one chicken. So what's much more fun is to use a loop again. So if I repeat that 4 times, I'll have 4 chickens. Let's make them come from a bit higher. No, not 510. I might not see where, might take all day. Now, when I try this with students, they'll try and make this number as large as they can, and you may find that your computer freezes up. So you don't want to go too far. I think 100's pretty good. That's quite a lot of chickens. But yeah, if you try and type in 10 million, you might run into some problems. But always good to experiment. So now, if I type in the word rain, it's going to spawn the chicken 10 blocks above my head 100 times. Okay, so T, rain, and I don't think that'll work because I put a slash at the end. Yep, You've got to type it exactly right or it won't follow those instructions. So now as I look up, if I move around a bit, I can see the chickens. Oh, some of them have come into the pen. As I'm moving around, they've been flapping their wings and I haven't quite succeeded in keeping them there, and they can fly out anyway. But that gives you an idea of how you can spawn animals within the game using the spawn animal and then the repeat command. So I'll give you a little chance to try that. You don't have to choose chickens. Feel free to choose another animal if you like, but I put the instructions on the screen for you there. So great, we've just done 5 simple examples looking at different aspects of coding. And the final thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that there are a lot of ready-made worlds within Minecraft education. So you've probably heard of the Hour of Code. So every year, I think for the past 8 years, the Minecraft team have created a really great immersive world that you can play with your students about coding. The last 2 years have been around AI and using coding within AI. So I'm just going to give you a sneak preview, not a sneak preview, a review of last year's Hour of Code. Actually, this was the year before. This is a short trailer that kind of introduces Hour of Code. And these are great activities you can do with students. There's no preparation needed. There's all the instructions are in the game. And if something goes wrong, students can reset it. So these are great standalone activities. And if you search for them online, you'll find lesson plans, solutions, etc. as well. So I'll just play a very short clip just to introduce this to you.
Everyone is talking about AI. So, this year, Minecraft Hour of Code will teach you how to create helpful AI. But getting your AI to work well requires thoughtful coding and being responsible. Minecraft Education invites you to apply this useful technology to a fun set of puzzles, solve problems using code, and see how AI can make our lives easier. And since AI is all about rules, help it follow directions and play fair. You can code with our fun, simple blocks or use Python like a pro, all with the trusty agent by your side. Download Minecraft Education and do an hour of code today.
Okay, so that was, I think the one from 2 years ago. There was another AI-based Hour of Code last year. So do have a look at aka.ms Hour of Code. And then there are a lot of ready-made worlds and activities that you can work through with your students. aka.ms/computer science. That will take you to a library of coding activities that you can do with your students. But just to get started with coding, just open up Code Builder and look at the tutorials. So that's it. Thanks very much for coming. Happy coding.